Well, the Premier League champions Liverpool were back in a form of training today, just non-contact at the moment and only in small groups of 5 or fewer players. It's the first time they've been back in training since March when the league was suspended, with Liverpool 25 points clear with 9 games to go, tantalisingly close to ending the 30-year title drought. What's been happening this week across the Premier League is COVID-19 tests have been conducted across players and coaches, and the results of those have started to come back in. The only player we know so far, at least, who's tested positive for the coronavirus is Mariappa at Watford. And that's particularly interesting because at Watford, the captain, Troy Deeney, has really expressed concerns about the dangers of returning to training while the coronavirus pandemic does rage on. He's really concerned about the potential that football could spread infections, that going to training, going back home, particularly if players have someone vulnerable in their household, could harm them and could potentially lead to the virus spreading. So there are concerns, trepidation from the players. We've heard this from the Professional Footballers Association as well, which has been conducting surveys of players, and that survey has shown anxiety, fears, depression amongst footballers who are fearing for their livelihoods, but also the fear about even just going back to playing football while the health risks do persist. The government, though, is determined to try to get the Premier League back up and running by June. And what we've heard today from them is that Alex Scott, a former England and Arsenal player, she'll be advising the government on how live sport can resume. It's so complex in terms of the logistics, even of behind closed doors games, and making sure as many people can watch them as possible because the fans won't be able to. As it stands now, you can't watch every Premier League game on television in Britain, but that's going to have to change if the league does resume behind closed doors. The next step for the Premier League is another meeting next week of clubs by teleconference, and then they'll discuss how to potentially resume contact training, even while the rest of the country we're still being encouraged to apply social distancing.